One of his hit songs, Music and Lights. The death of hip-hop icon Jabulani Tsambo has definitely shocked the music fraternity and South Africa as a whole. Jabba's work in being the pioneer of motswako music will surely be remembered for years to come, and the mastermind who discovered HHP, Vusi Leeuw, signed him to his then novice label CCP in the late 1990s. He met HHP through the late Isaac Mthethwa, that's the younger brother of kwaito legend Eugene Mthethwa, and we're joined by Vusi Leeuw, also here to pay tribute to the music icon. A very good morning to you, Vusi, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. And actually, just to correct something, I worked for CCP.
Oh, okay.
Time. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
You know, the general feeling we're getting from our viewers on Twitter, on our social media, and some of the people we've been interviewing here since 6 o'clock this morning is that he was a person with a big heart, a big personality, very funny, very witty. So as a person who discovered him over 20 years ago, what was the first thing that struck you about HHP?
Well, I think first, I first heard him. Before I met him, I heard his demo. Okay. And I wanted to meet him. But his flow was unique and clever. Yeah. You know, his demo, his first song, How You Feel, you know, which is the first track that we released. He was rapping on a Brenda Fassie Weekend Special beat.
Right.
So yeah, I think look, I think when we discover talent, most of the time, first, like we're not God, you know. You believe in talent, but you never know how far you're gonna go.
True.
So for us, it was a journey. You know, and I think it was a journey that we look at it today and we appreciate to have even started that journey.
Indeed. You know, the remake of Jabba, his song is actually a remake of the old hit Heaven is Missing an Angel. How true are those words today?
Sure. They're so true. Now I think he's gonna have a section in heaven which will be called Motswako Heaven, you know. It's said that we keep on losing them young, but at the same time, I'm sure, you know, they've run their marathon, and I mean we can see with the impact that Jabulani has, not just in South Africa, you know, but in the continent and outside, you know, outside Africa.
I'm still yet to meet someone who isn't in awe of HHP, his impact on the music industry, and him as a person, personally. When you guys shifted to this motswako genre, did you perhaps have in mind how big of an impact it will have on people?
No. No, but
it took you totally by surprise.
But part of the whole thing was about, from my perspective, we needed to change the industry, not for it to focus only in Johannesburg, and at the same time, we had to change the perception that you have to sing in Zulu for you to succeed. Yeah. You know, so Jabulani was the best example. Sorry, actually, I think. He was the best artist for me that came and kind of made sense to say, let's take this journey. Yeah. I must also say that there were others before him, like Credit Crew and Bafiki, you know?
Sure.
But he was able to
swim against the tide. And speaking of swimming against the tide, he was rapping in Setswana. I mean, at the time where Abo TKZ, Bo Mandoza, Bo Bumshaka were still dominating the industry. So do you still remember his first performance?
Sure, yeah. It was a tough one because it was in KZN. And I was with him and one of my artists at that time was also new, but he already had a hit on radio, which was Mandoza, that I'd also just discovered. So it was a bit of a challenge, you know. Funny, we were talking about how he was more excited. Besides that, he was a bit intimidated, and I had to persuade him to say, just do your thing, you know. Then after that, we did an Ukhozi FM interview, and he was more excited the fact that, you know, he can speak Setswana on Ukhozi FM, and I think he started seeing that actually what he's doing is on the right track, you know, because it was no longer about just him seeing himself only being relevant in the northwest or Setswana speaking areas, you know. He was now seeing himself being appreciated for the first time in Durban and KZN. So,
you know, and the kind of guidance that he gave to artists such as Murafe, such as Lekshin, can never be overstated. I mean, he took it to the pinnacle. Just briefly, we don't have much time. What are some of your most fond memories of him you have?
Wow, look, there are many, but I must also say that I think when I spoke to him, I was at a radio station in Tanzania, Times FM, and I connected him with a DJ there, you know, that connection, and from there he said he wants to start a walk to Kenya, you know. So our last discussion, he was talking about starting an African Music Alliance, you know, to bring together African artists, you know, and that's why I'm dressed like this today, because of paying tribute to him and his Africanism, and how he also opened up for a lot of other youngsters.
And all we know that his music and his spirit will forever live on. Vusi, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Jabba is one of the pioneers of what we now know as motswako music. He made Setswana fashionable, and we just spoke to Vusi Leeuw. I mean, he gave HHP his big break after signing him to his then novice label CCP that he worked for in the late 1990s. This is Morning Live. Let's go for an ad break.
When I I began it when I was this small. Then I got this tall. Told elastic, it is this tall. You see, rhyming. I began it when I was this small.